They betrayed you in the most unimaginable way. Maybe it was emotional, financial, or an attack on your very dignity. Everyone around you says you should forgive and move on, that holding grudges only hurts yourself. But something deep inside you refuses to accept that advice, and maybe that instinct is exactly right. Forgiveness is celebrated as a noble virtue, and truly it is in most situations. But there are sacred boundaries that, when crossed, forgiveness becomes not wisdom, but self-destruction. There are betrayals so fundamental that accepting them teaches others that your dignity is negotiable currency. What's important is that you understand I'm not teaching you to become bitter or nurture hatred. I'm going to show you how to protect your dignity when necessary and recognize when self-respect matters more than maintaining a relationship. Marcus Aurelius, who faced countless betrayals and conspiracies as emperor, reminded us, don't make yourself a slave to anyone. Sometimes forgiving blindly is exactly how you hand over control to people who don't deserve it. The difference between healthy boundaries and toxic forgiveness lies in understanding what behaviors reveal character incompatible with genuine love and respect. Some actions cross lines that cannot be uncrossed, revealing truths about someone that change everything. Today, I'm revealing 5 types of betrayal you should never forgive in relationships. The third one is particularly dangerous because it doesn't just destroy your current relationship. It destroys your ability to trust your own reality and judgment. Now let's examine the first betrayal that should never be forgiven, one that attacks the very foundation of your dignity and self-worth. Betrayal. Number 1. Deliberate public humiliation. When someone destroys your dignity in public, they've shown you exactly who they are, and you should believe them. Deliberate public humiliation is when someone intentionally exposes your vulnerabilities, mocks your insecurities, or attacks your character in front of others for their own satisfaction or advantage. This isn't an accidental slip or moment of anger. It's calculated cruelty designed to damage your reputation and social standing. What makes this betrayal particularly devastating is that it weaponizes the trust you've placed in them. The private vulnerabilities you've shared become ammunition in their hands. They take the most sensitive parts of your inner world, your fears, insecurities, failures, or personal struggles, and use them as weapons to wound you publicly when it serves their emotional needs. Maria experienced this firsthand when she confided in her partner about her struggles with anxiety and how it affected her ability to give presentations at work. She had shared this vulnerability during a moment of deep intimacy, trusting him with something that genuinely scared and embarrassed her. Months later, during an argument at his company party, he loudly announced to his colleagues that she was too anxious to function properly in the real world, and made jokes about her panic attacks in front of people she had to maintain professional relationships with. The room fell silent as Maria felt her dignity shatter in front of people whose respect mattered to her career. But the deeper wound wasn't just the embarrassment. It was the realization that the person she loved most had deliberately chosen to use her deepest vulnerability as a weapon. He had taken something sacred she had entrusted to him and turned it into entertainment for strangers. This type of betrayal reveals several disturbing character traits that make forgiveness dangerous. First, it shows someone's willingness to prioritize their momentary emotional satisfaction over your long-term well-being. They were willing to damage your reputation and social relationships just to feel powerful in that moment. Second, it demonstrates a complete lack of protective instinct towards someone they claim to love. Instead of guarding your vulnerabilities, they exploit them. Most importantly, it reveals their view of your trust as a resource to be used rather than a gift to be treasured. When you share your deepest fears or insecurities with someone, you're essentially saying, "I trust you to handle this carefully." Public humiliation shows they view this trust as leverage rather than sacred responsibility. Epictetus taught that our dignity is one of the few things truly within our control, but it requires others to respect the boundaries we set around it. When someone deliberately attacks your dignity, they're attacking your fundamental right to self-respect and social standing. They're essentially saying that your emotional well-being is less important than their desire to hurt or control you. The psychological damage from public humiliation extends far beyond the immediate incident. It creates lasting trauma that affects your ability to trust others with vulnerabilities, your confidence in social situations, and your willingness to be authentic in relationships. You begin to wonder what other private information they might weaponize and start editing yourself in ways that prevent genuine intimacy. Perhaps most insidiously, public humiliation often makes you question whether you're overreacting to what happened. The perpetrator and others might minimize it as just being honest or not meaning it that way, making you doubt your own emotional reality. This gaslighting component compounds the original betrayal. The reason this betrayal should never be forgiven is that it reveals a fundamental character flaw that doesn't change with apologies or promises. Someone who can deliberately humiliate you once will do it again when they want to hurt you or regain control. They've shown they're willing to destroy your dignity for their emotional satisfaction, and that willingness doesn't disappear just because they regret the consequences. Your dignity is not negotiable currency in anyone else's emotional economy. When someone treats it as such, they've disqualified themselves from access to your inner world. Set absolute boundaries around public respect and make it clear that private vulnerabilities are sacred territory that, once violated, cannot be trusted again. Public humiliation attacks your external reputation and social standing, but our second betrayal strikes at something even more fundamental: your sense of security and financial safety. Betrayal number 2, financial betrayal and theft. When someone steals from you, they're not just taking money, they're stealing your sense of security and your faith in their character. Financial betrayal encompasses stealing money, running up debt in your name, hiding assets, gambling away shared resources, forging signatures, or using your financial information without consent. This isn't about money troubles or poor financial decisions made together. This is about deliberate deception and theft that violates the basic trust that relationships require. What makes financial betrayal particularly devastating is that it often involves sustained deception over months or years. It's not a moment of weakness, but a pattern of calculated lies where someone actively works to deceive you while looking you in the eye and pretending everything is normal. Every day they don't confess is another day they choose their immediate desires over your mutual security and future. Tom discovered this when he found out his wife had been systematically stealing from their children's college fund to support her gambling addiction. Over 18 months, she had taken nearly $30,000 that they had both sacrificed to save, money that represented years of working overtime and skipping vacations to secure their children's futures. She had forged his signature on bank documents and created elaborate lies about where the money was going. When confronted with bank statements and evidence, she didn't show remorse for the theft itself, but anger at being caught. She blamed Tom for not understanding her stress, minimized the theft as borrowing from our own money, and tried to make him feel guilty for not supporting her during difficult times. She had stolen their children's futures and then tried to make him the villain for discovering it. Financial betrayal reveals several character defects that make forgiveness dangerous. First, it shows someone's willingness to sacrifice your shared future for their immediate gratification. They're essentially saying that whatever they wanted the money for was more important than your financial security, your children's education, or your retirement. Second, it demonstrates their capacity for sustained deception, the ability to lie convincingly while planning your mutual future together. Most revealing is how financial betrayers often respond when caught. Instead of taking full responsibility, they minimize the theft, blame circumstances, or even blame you for making them feel like they had to hide things. This response shows they still don't understand the fundamental violation of trust they've committed. Marcus Aurelius valued justice as one of the 4 cardinal virtues, understanding that a person's relationship with fairness reveals their character completely. Financial theft violates this fundamental principle and shows you exactly who someone becomes when they think they won't be caught. It reveals their true priorities and their willingness to deceive the person who trusts them most. The practical damage from financial betrayal extends far beyond the money itself. It often creates debt you didn't know existed, damages your credit rating, and can take years to recover from financially. But the deeper damage is to your ability to trust anyone with financial decisions again. You begin to question every purchase, every financial conversation, and every joint decision because you know how easily you can be deceived. Financial betrayal also reveals someone's view of partnership itself. In healthy relationships, major financial decisions are shared decisions because they affect both people's security and future. When someone makes unilateral decisions to spend, borrow, or steal shared resources, they're essentially saying your opinion and consent don't matter when they want something. The reason this betrayal should never be forgiven is that it reveals a fundamental selfishness and dishonesty that extends far beyond money. Someone who can steal from their partner while planning vacations and discussing retirement together has shown a capacity for compartmentalized deception that will surface in other areas. They've proven they can look you in the eye and lie convincingly while actively harming your future. Trust in money matters is trust in character. When one is broken, both are compromised. Financial betrayal shows someone's true priorities when they think they won't get caught, and those priorities don't change just because they face consequences. If you've experienced financial betrayal in a relationship, share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help others recognize the warning signs and protect themselves from similar harm. Financial betrayal steals your security and reveals character defects, but our third betrayal is even more insidious. It steals your confidence in your own reality and perception. Betrayal. Number 3. Systematic gaslighting and reality distortion. The cruelest betrayal is making someone doubt their own sanity. Systematic gaslighting involves deliberately distorting your reality, denying conversations that happened, rewriting history, and systematically undermining your confidence in your own memory and perceptions. This isn't about different perspectives or honest disagreements. This is psychological warfare designed to make you question your fundamental to understand reality. What makes gaslighting so devastating is that it attacks the very foundation of your autonomy, your ability to trust your own perceptions and make decisions based on accurate information. When someone systematically distorts your reality, they're not just lying to you. They're training you to doubt yourself so completely that you become dependent on them to tell you what's real. Jake executed this with surgical precision over 18 months with his girlfriend Sarah. It started small, denying promises he had made, insisting conversations had never happened, claiming she had misunderstood obvious jokes. When Sarah would reference specific things he had said, he would look at her with genuine concern and say things like, "That's not like you to," misremember things like this, or, "Are you feeling okay? You seem confused lately." Gradually, Jake escalated the campaign. He would move Sarah's personal items around the house and then express worry when she couldn't find them. He told her that her friends had privately expressed concern about her memory issues and paranoid thinking. He would make plans with her, then later claim she had imagined the conversation and suggest she write things down because she was getting forgetful. Most insidiously, Jake began rewriting their relationship history. Arguments where he had been clearly wrong became situations where Sarah had overreacted or misunderstood his intentions. Hurtful things he had said became things she had imagined or taken out of context. He created an alternate version of their relationship where every problem was caused by her flawed perceptions and emotional instability. By the end, Sarah was keeping a secret journal to try to track what was real, constantly second-guessing her own memory and asking friends to confirm basic facts about conversations they had witnessed. She had been transformed from a confident, decisive person into someone who couldn't trust her own mind about the simplest interactions. The Stoics valued clear thinking and rational perception above all else, understanding that accurate perception is the foundation of all good decision-making. When someone deliberately clouds your thinking, they're attacking your ability to live autonomously and make choices based on truth rather than manipulation. Gaslighting is not an accident or a byproduct of poor communication. It's a deliberate strategy to gain control by making you doubt yourself. The gaslighter benefits from your confusion because a person who doesn't trust their own perceptions will turn to others for reality checks, creating dependency and control. What makes this betrayal unforgivable is its systematic nature and devastating psychological impact. Unlike other betrayals that happen in moments, gaslighting is a sustained campaign that can take months or years to fully manifest. The damage it causes can take even longer to repair, as victims often struggle with self-doubt and decision-making long after the relationship ends. The gaslighter's response when confronted is often to gaslight about the gaslighting itself, claiming you're being paranoid, imagining things, or trying to make them look bad. This response confirms that the behavior was intentional and reveals their continued commitment to distorting your reality rather than taking responsibility. Perhaps most disturbing is how gaslighting contaminates your future relationships. When someone has systematically trained you to doubt your perceptions, you may find yourself constantly seeking validation from others about basic reality, struggling to trust your instincts, or becoming hypervigilant about other people's motives and honesty. The reason this betrayal should never be forgiven is that it reveals someone who views your mental autonomy as an obstacle to their control. They have shown they're willing to sacrifice your psychological well-being and your relationship with reality itself to maintain power over you. This level of psychological manipulation indicates a fundamental character disorder that doesn't respond to apologies or promises to change. Your reality is not up for negotiation with someone who benefits from your confusion. When someone systematically attacks your ability to trust yourself, they've disqualified themselves from any position of trust in your life. If you've learned to trust your own perceptions and reality, despite someone trying to make you doubt yourself, comment, "My reality stands," below to encourage others who are rebuilding their confidence in their own truth. Gaslighting destroys your inner compass and confidence, but our fourth betrayal attacks your most sacred trust through the cruelest possible method. Betrayal. Number 4. Infidelity with someone close to you. Betrayal hurts, but betrayal with your friend or family member is a double assassination of trust that destroys multiple relationships simultaneously. This isn't just about infidelity. It's about the calculated cruelty of choosing someone from your inner circle, someone whose betrayal you would never expect, to participate in destroying your sense of safety and belonging. What makes this betrayal particularly devastating is the level of deception it requires from multiple people you trust. It's not a moment of weakness or a mistake. It's an ongoing conspiracy where people you love are actively deceiving you while pretending to care about your well-being. Every interaction becomes a performance where you're the only one who doesn't know the script. Lisa discovered this horror when she found out her husband was having an affair with her younger sister during what was supposed to be a healing family vacation after their father's death. The affair had been going on for 8 months, with both of them lying directly to her face while she planned family gatherings, cooked dinners for them both, and confided in her sister about marriage problems she was having with the very man her sister was sleeping with. The most devastating part wasn't just the sexual betrayal, but the realization that every family dinner had been an elaborate deception. Her sister would sit across from her, offering relationship advice about the man she was secretly involved with. Her husband would leave their bed to text her sister, then return and kiss Lisa goodnight. Both of them had watched her struggle with loneliness and marriage problems while actively causing those problems behind her back. When confronted, neither showed genuine remorse for the conspiracy itself. Her husband blamed their marital problems for pushing him toward her sister. Her sister claimed it just happened and that they couldn't help their feelings. Both tried to make Lisa feel guilty for making them feel bad about something they portrayed as beyond their control. This type of betrayal reveals a level of calculated cruelty that goes far beyond momentary weakness or poor judgment. It requires sustained deception, planning around your schedule, coordinating their lies, and maintaining the performance of caring about you while actively working to deceive you. It shows they can look you in the eye, accept your love and trust, and simultaneously work to betray that trust in the most intimate way possible. The psychological damage extends far beyond the relationship itself. When your partner cheats with someone from your inner circle, it contaminates your entire support network. You lose not just the romantic relationship, but often family relationships, friendships, and social connections. You begin to question whether other people in your life are capable of similar deception. Seneca wrote extensively about choosing companions wisely, understanding that people reveal their character through their actions when they think no one is watching. When someone violates trust this fundamentally with someone close to you, they've shown they're incapable of the basic loyalty and respect that any healthy relationship requires. The close person element makes this betrayal particularly unforgivable because it reveals they actively chose the method that would cause you maximum pain. They could have cheated with a stranger, but they specifically chose someone whose betrayal would destroy multiple relationships and support systems. This shows a level of cruelty that indicates deep character defects. What makes this betrayal impossible to forgive is how it reveals both parties' capacity for sustained deception and their willingness to sacrifice your emotional well-being for their gratification. Someone who can maintain this level of conspiracy while accepting your love and care has shown they view your trust as something to be exploited rather than treasured. The response when caught often reveals even more disturbing character traits. Instead of taking full responsibility for the elaborate deception, they often blame circumstances, minimize the planning involved, or even blame you for not meeting their needs. This response shows they still don't understand the fundamental violation they've committed. Some betrayals reveal such depth of character deficit that forgiveness becomes self-harm. When someone can orchestrate this level of deception with someone you trust, they've shown they're capable of any level of betrayal when it serves their desires. This intimate betrayal destroys multiple relationships and your sense of safety, but our final betrayal attacks something even more fundamental: your very identity and moral foundation. Betrayal number 5. Forcing you to compromise core values. When someone asks you to betray yourself for their benefit, they're asking you to participate in your own moral destruction. This betrayal occurs when someone pressures, manipulates, or coerces you into acting against your fundamental moral principles for their personal advantage. They want you to lie, cheat, hurt others, or compromise your integrity to serve their goals. What makes this betrayal particularly insidious is that it attacks your very identity. Your core values aren't just preferences or opinions. They're the foundation of who you are as a person. When someone asks you to violate these values, they're essentially asking you to stop being yourself and become someone who serves their purposes instead. David experienced this when his business partner pressured him to falsify safety inspection reports to avoid costly equipment repairs. His partner started with seemingly reasonable arguments about staying competitive in their industry, but gradually the pressure became more intense and manipulative. "Everyone cuts corners like this," his partner insisted. "You're being naive about how business really works. If we don't do this, we'll lose the contract to someone who will." When David refused, citing safety concerns for workers and potential legal consequences, his partner escalated to emotional manipulation and threats. The partner threatened to dissolve their partnership and spread rumors about David being impossible to work with. He even suggested that David's rigid thinking was putting both their family's financial security at risk. He tried to make David feel guilty, positioning his integrity as selfishness and framing the decision to maintain safety standards as David choosing his moral superiority over their mutual success. What David's partner was really asking for went far beyond falsified paperwork. He was asking David to become someone who would risk other people's safety for profit. He wanted David to cross a line that, once crossed, would fundamentally change who David was as a person. He was asking him to participate in his own moral corruption. This type of betrayal reveals someone who doesn't love or respect the real you. They want to reshape you into someone more convenient for their purposes. They see your values not as the foundation of your character, but as obstacles to their goals. They're willing to sacrifice your integrity, your self-respect, and your moral identity for their advantage. The pressure tactics used in these situations are often sophisticated forms of emotional manipulation. They might appeal to loyalty by saying things like, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this," to make your refusal seem like a lack of love. Or they'll claim necessity, insisting, "We have no choice if we want to survive financially." Sometimes they'll normalize the behavior, saying, "Everyone does this, you're being unrealistic to think otherwise." They make your adherence to values seem naive, selfish, or even harmful to the people you care about. The goal is to make you feel like maintaining your integrity is actually the wrong choice. They want you to believe that your moral standards are impractical obstacles rather than essential parts of who you are. Marcus Aurelius wrote about never esteeming anything as advantageous that would make you break your word or lose your self-respect. He understood that your values are not negotiable assets that can be traded for temporary gain. When someone asks you to compromise these, they're asking you to destroy the very thing that makes you trustworthy and valuable as a person. What makes this betrayal unforgivable is that it reveals someone's willingness to corrupt your character for their benefit. They've shown they value your usefulness more than your integrity. Someone who can ask you to betray your fundamental values has demonstrated they don't respect who you are at your core. The psychological damage from this pressure is profound, even if you refuse their request. Knowing that someone you trusted would ask you to compromise your deepest principles fundamentally changes how you see them and the relationship. If you do compromise, it creates lasting self-hatred and a loss of self-respect that can take years to recover from. Perhaps most disturbing is how this betrayal often escalates. Once someone has convinced you to compromise one value, they often return with requests to compromise others. They've established that your principles are negotiable, and they'll continue to negotiate until you've lost yourself completely. Your values are not negotiable chips in someone else's game of personal advancement. When someone repeatedly pressures you to abandon who you are for their convenience, they've shown they don't love the real you. They want to use you. These 5 betrayals share one devastating characteristic. They attack the very foundation of who you are and your ability to trust others in the future. When you forgive the unforgivable, you teach people how to treat you. You're saying your dignity is negotiable and your boundaries can be violated without consequences. Some behaviors reveal character so fundamentally flawed that continuing the relationship becomes self-harm. If you believe self-respect sometimes matters more than maintaining a relationship, like this video to remind yourself of these standards. Subscribe to Stoic Training to learn how to build healthy boundaries based on ancient wisdom. Comment below, which of these 5 betrayals do you find hardest to set boundaries around? Your experience might help others learn. Remember, your boundaries aren't suggestions, they're requirements for access to your heart.